Castle.
Hello, hello. Well, the snow is out, the sky's dark. It's time to write some comic books. Hey, I'm Vaughn, and here I am working on what is a script for Marvel's character Magic. I got it. See, I've had this Magic story idea kicking around in my head for a while, and I read the new issue of Magic, and I became incensed. So incensed. So I just was like, okay, fine. Like, let's take my little outline I wrote this a long ass time ago. I can't even remember because you come up with ideas as a writer, my friends, and then you put them in a folder, and then sometimes they might sit there for years. And you might get an assignment, and then you'll draw from it like a junkyard. You'll scavenge it like a demonic vulture in the night for that idea, for that good idea, so you can use it in like a job you get or whatever. It's just part of the process. I feel like every writer has a boneyard. And if you don't, you should. They're valuable. And here I am working on picking at the bones of an idea for the character of Magic. She woke up, guys. If you missed the first episode, go watch it. You might want to. I am working on a program called Superscript. It's specifically made for writing comics. I highly recommend it. I think it's pretty cheap. And it has a lot of great functions. And so here's where we were from last week. If you didn't catch it, Magic is having bizarre nightmares of a dark version of herself back in Limbo, where she lived many years and learned many dark things and has had Limbo has a history at Marvel where it's like passed to different people, past the different rulers and stuff. I just came up with the idea that maybe some of Magic's kind of heart and soul, her blood, something was left behind in Limbo, and it created her dark side. She has this thing called the Dark Child, and people don't really know how she has it. They don't really know how she has the metal armor on her arms. I don't think we don't know like what's mutant power, what's magic. It's not really explained, but I feel like I want to do a story where I explain it my way in a really cool, exciting way that makes her character fucking awesome. So I'm taking advantage of that. Or maybe I'm just bending the lore a little bit in my little fan fiction here. But either way, we open with Magic having this dark vision of herself. It seems like a nightmare, but really it's a vision. It's a warning. And when she wakes up and turns on the lamp, she's got this wonderful power, you guys. It's teleportation discs. Think of just portals, essentially. Magical portals. It's really cool. It makes her kind of neat on X-Men. It goes with the whole motif of Magic's character, which is to travel beyond and through other worlds and planes. So it's a power that fits the character, right? It's part of her. She's like a dark fantasy gothic style X-Men character, which it's no wonder that she's become more popular in recent years because they had an actress who's really popular now portray her in a kind of a culty, kind of bad, but tacky, but maybe not the worst of the tacky superhero movies out there. New Mutants. That movie kind of fell victim to a lot of weird shit. But now we've got Magic getting her own comic book at #1 with Marvel. I started to write this. Here we are. It is awesome so far because by page 2, this is the way we write here at Vaughn's Haunted Castle. By page 2, I'm killing her boyfriend in bed next to her. I sliced him into multiple sections because her portal power has gone haywire. And then out of one of the portals comes her dark side. She's the newest ruler of Limbo, and she wants Magic for herself. So the silhouettes of the X-Men are in her doorway, and they're like, what happened? And then we just get right to it. It's called Getting in Late and Getting Out Early. We just cut right to his funeral on X-Men grounds. We could see a few of the X-Men around the coffin, which would be cool for like little cameos. I think of when I'm writing, and I've never written an X-Men comic fan fiction before or anything. But I think writing a good X-Men comic means you got to like at least have some visuals of the other X-Men in there at some point for some reason. It's just fun for the reader. We like it. Especially if you see your favorites. So we cut from that. She leaves the funeral, guys. She turns and bails on the funeral. And Charles, of course, notices more than anyone is more sensitive to his student. And we cut to the danger room, and she comes in to, quote, blow off some steam. And Kitty's like, should we talk to her? And Xavier says, no, Kitty, let the girl grieve her way. Danger room, run Magic Course 33. She says, raise the difficulty, thank you. So Magic pulls out her soul sword. We get to see her power. Magic coming out of a portal should be right here. She's coming out of a portal and throws her sword through two more dragon riders. I have her fighting these things riding dragons, and I just feel bored with it. I don't even like it anymore. I don't want to play with this anymore. I'm gonna say that Xavier instead did something like everybody can make Magic fight. I'm gonna delete all guys. We're gonna do something I don't normally do. I normally don't need to delete a whole beginning of a scene like this in my writing, but you know what? I will. Screw that scene. All right. We're moving on. We're doing something different right here. Live. Well, not really live. I'm just recording it. But you get me. So basically, Magic is now in the danger room, and I know from my notes over here, which I wish I'll try to paste them in when I edit this video for you guys, so you can see my little notes. I just do notes in a notepad, and I do a little outline on my story. And in a weird way, before I've even written the script, I've already done the first draft of my story, and it's good. Like I make sure the like I do bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, and I do 3 act structure, but I make sure by the end of it that I'm actually excited. I mean, it's better for your craft, it's better for the process, so it's not so miserable. And it's got to be fun. You got to be chasing these little moments where you get to these great scenes that you're excited about. I mean, that's what keeps comic creators or any kind of creator going, I think, is the joy of those moments where it all connects and turns into something that you just know in your heart is good and real and true. It's a beautiful moment. And I want to be real and true with Magic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start writing finally. So I hope you guys are all caught up. I hope you're enjoying your nights. I am here writing because I just love doing it. I love to it's like going to the gym as a creator. And we're going to write Magic. It's called Tragic Kingdom. She must face off against her dark self. Kind of cliche in a way and kind of obvious for her, but it just works for the character. And I kind of want to explore some ideas with that. So don't worry, we're going to keep it interesting. We always do. We always do. That's why we deleted the beginning of this whole scene in the danger room. So this is another thing that I'm obsessed with, the danger room. I feel like if I'm going to write an X-Men comic at all, I at least got to get a little danger room in there. Panel 1, what should she see? Magic has to use for her sword to work. It's supposed to go up against magical things, but at the danger room, it's just like holograms on robotic things. Like they're not real magical things, but I think Magic controllers sword so it can hit things that aren't magical too. Now, I don't know. You always have to check up on these things. But I was having to go up against these Dragon Rider dudes, and it's just like, what? I mean, it could look badass with the right artist. But Charles wants to help her. He wants, and he might, maybe he made this to kind of help Magic out during a dark time. I mean, her boyfriend was just sliced into sections a few hours ago. Quick funeral. Maybe that was like a week later type thing. It's just really sad for her. So here she comes to the danger room to fuck shit up, but she's going to have a bad time. Oh, yes. So what should Charles have her go up against? See, this isn't in my notes. This is what happens when a writer goes, I have room to change it as I go. I have room to sculpt this into something better as I go. In my notes, I was just like, storming the castle. She should be storming the castle. Finds her brother Colossus waiting for her. Big fucking battle, family battle. No, Colossus is coming in soon. He is. I feel like with Magic, I like the brother sister thing with Colossus, and I want to play on that a little bit without overdoing it. It's still her story, But Colossus, he needs we want to show that they have a good connection. I don't like the idea that the people always make it weird. In comics, everyone's relationships are all fucked up. But everyone's getting divorced out there these days too. I don't know what to tell you. They turned finding your mate into like fucking total horror show. So you got to watch the fuck out. But Magic does too. What should she go up against, you guys? I was thinking she should go up against some portals of her own. If she goes up against herself, it's just too on the nose for what's going on in the actual story that she's going up against this dark version of herself called Tragic. I mean, it should be... I need to make the character of Tragic worth the story. She has to be interesting. She can't just be like, I'm evil, you. I take the lid on the salt shaker and loosen it. She's got to be really true to the Magic's characters, like what Magic would do if she had unlimited power and decided she wanted to kill the world. But she has to have, like, I don't know. She has to have some interesting sides to her too. We'll see when we get there, right? We're getting there. Except we're not at all. A field of tall grass. Giant black creatures on fours slide through it towards her, fangs and claws gleaming. I don't know. I don't know what kind of creatures. Like, I just think like big, nasty. Usually I pick like what creature of myth I want. So giant black creatures. I was thinking like werewolves, black werewolves. I guess you have to put all fours because some people will draw werewolves on two legs. You got to put all four. Let's see, giant black, but werewolves. Werewolves are important in Russia. For slide through it towards her, fangs and claws gleam from portal above. Two of them, sword raised to kill from above. Through more of the werewolves. I guess werewolves. Why don't I feel sure about it? Why do I want some sort of? I was thinking like some sort of cat-like panther creatures that don't follow normal. They're not normal cats. They're like dragons. I don't know. Who cares? Just call them werewolves and let the artist do something awesome. Tell the artist, direct them to do something awesome with them. Make them oversized and make them things. Maybe make them your own. Like tell the artist to just go off and as cool as possible. Scare us. All right. She slashes through more werewolves by slicing while tumbling through air. Well, the first panel needs to be magic stepping to tall dead grass. Tall, as the danger room changes before us. Usually the danger room is more fantastical or more, I don't know. You can do anything with it. I'm sure there's all kinds of different things I haven't seen people do with it over the years, but magic is now surrounded the werewolves. Okay, let's have a werewolf gets hit while slicing through three other wolves. The slashes through magic, all sides rabid for the kill. So now we've got werewolf fight scene, and they're all coming in from all sides, rabid for the kill. And let's see, Colossus's fist comes. So now enter Colossus. Okay, so I'm trying to make this pop along and get to the good stuff. So it's like a page. I don't overdo the fighting with like page after page, but we want the fighting to have its own badass kinetic energy, right? We want it to be really cool. So I took a moment to let page 7 breathe with 4 panels and like we could capture some good action and some great like danger moments. And then we have to like move on from that. We have to keep the story moving. So next page, werewolves. Wait, the werewolvers. That's nice. Slashes through her side, surrounded by werewolves. Now completely surrounded. Let's see, completely surrounded by werewolves in the tall grass. Smashing with energy, power. Sound effects, right? Thum. Right? I think it's worthy of a thum. You don't? You do? Let me know. So this is cool. So inner Colossus. So within no time in the danger room, we don't do too much plot or anything. Colossus comes in and saves her. And now it's Magic and Colossus. Oops, my bad. And Colossus, they back to back in a badass fashion. Flashback panel. We're doing a flashback panel. Back panel. That's right. Magic in the field on the ground as a young girl. Okay. Magic in the field on the ground as a young girl. Colossus standing over her, holding back the tractor, metallic form gleaming above her. His massive arm has smashed, massive form has smashed in the front of the tractor. Right? That's like one of his part of his origin or something. I think the first time his powers manifested, he ran to block a tractor and he turned into the armored Colossus, which is pretty cool. I like Colossus. I've always kind of liked Colossus. And then they stand over the werewolf corpses. Battle 1. You feel the warmth between them. Colossus has lowered his armor as Colossus talks to Magic. See, now I haven't worried about dialogue. I've just been like, just loving action, you know, and letting you, if you tell your story with the action being your focus and making sure the visuals all line up, you've done most of the heavy work. Then that way your dialogue can be like fun and easygoing and icing, and you don't do too much of it. Usually it depends on the story. I do some stories that have a lot of like caption voiceover, a lot of dialogue, a lot of chatty people. And I'll do stories where there's barely any talking. It just depends on what I think works the best. So Magic is fucked up right now, right? And her brother comes in and saves the day, and she remembers the time he saves her. And let's see, let's put a little thin panel of Charles and Kitty appreciating their work. And so to Magic, so now we got to get fucked up. As Colossus talks to Magic, a strange claw reaches over his shoulder. The claw of Tragic, Magic's dark half. So now, page 10 already. So we're going towards page 10. That's like about halfway done with an issue, because now they do them in 20 pages. I think they should do them in 22 myself. Someone should bring that back. Maybe someone has. Oh, yeah. Some new comics came out today. Damn, I have to go get some. Okay, let's see. Let's see if anything's interesting out there. Strange Claw from Rizzo. Okay, so now we've got our what the fuck moment panel. And now in page 10, we could do a splash. Let's not. I don't know. We'll save the splashes maybe. But we could do a splash of Tragic, like, clinging to Colossus for a second, or maybe she could try talking to her. What should happen? I feel like she should be losing her mind because of this. She's being haunted. Tragic closes her arms around Colossus's neck and embraces him. He is completely unaware. He is enjoying it, but it's all in her head. That's not real. Magic sword and points it at Piotr Rasputin. And everyone's like, is he related to the actual Rasputin? And it turns out, yes, they are. Magic is related to the original Rasputin. Okay, dude, that means like we could put Rasputin in their story if we wanted and be like, he kind of fucked with their mom a little bit more than just having sex with her. Like, he cast some weird shit to try to make his bloodline invincible, and it gave us you two. It'd be so cool. I better write that note down. Let me put that on my notes real quick. All right, everybody. So you got it. Here's a little advice. Every time you have an idea for something, even if it's stupid or weird, just write it down. It's okay. You don't have to use it, right? A lot of fat gets cut in these things. It's called polish. I know a script's getting good when I go back and I can find barely anything to change because everything's humming and working so well, and it doesn't feel like it needs polish. Notes. Rasputin casts some weird spells on Piotr and what's the other chick? Magic, of course. Ilyana. That's her name. Ilyana. In the womb. Exclamation point. He wanted his bloodline to be invincible. Giants of iron. Some shit like that. Maybe Colossus could say that later. Something like that. That messes with their origin, though. So does that piss you off, fans? Or is that like, oh, that's kind of cool? Or is that stupid? Because, like, no, they're just mutants and they just have metal. Yeah. Just play it. No, for real. Like, I totally respect both. I do. I really do respect both perspectives. Like, well, no, he's just a mutant and that's just it. Like, Okay, but Magic is a mutant with magic, and we don't know why. So I'm playing on that right now. That's what that is. It's me playing on that, making it cool. But who knows? Maybe by the end I'll go, I don't like it. And then I'll take it out. That's how these things work. It is a first draft after all. She pulls out her sword and points it at Peter, and Peter off panel. She's fucking freaked out. And then Peter, looking nervous, pleading, asking Magic to put down her sword. There is no tragic on his back. This is the real world. Magic is haunted. So Magic gets, I'm doing a lot of 4 panels, possessed by tragic. Her eyes go wide and turn and glow with intense redness. Horns burst from her forehead. Page 11 already, my friends. Page 11 already. She's getting possessed by tragic now. Things are getting fucking real, right? And I need to make sure I do this scene right. Colossus. Wait, let's have Colossus. Let's see. Colossus, arms open. Give her a free shot. He doesn't care. He trusts her. He still trusts her. Fully in the dark child mode and looking much like her dark half. Tragic. Colossus. We need some dialogue with these awesome moments, you know? Have I ever written Colossus before? Maybe, I don't know. My armor, come back. Your best side. The dark child isn't your best side. I will not raise my armor against you, sister. Please come back. The dark child isn't your best side. Magic soul sword starts to turn blood red. Almost like it's filling with blood before them. She stabs Colossus through the gut with it. Okay, that's a 3-paneler because we need big moments. Bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, grow your moments. Know when to really show your moments and make them big and dynamic. I've always found my favorite writers and artists know when to shut the fuck up and just let a nice big splash page in and let it work for them. Let it open up the story. Let us take it in for a bit. It changes the pace too, because you take time, you know, to enjoy it and to feel the impact of it. So I think Mark Miller's a good example if you want to talk about writers who know the power of like a page turn to a good splash page. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. How long have I been doing this for? 35 minutes? Man, I hope I helped you guys a little bit. I ended with Colossus getting stabbed through the guts by his own sister. Is that cool? Is that terrible? Is it wrong? Is it all wrong? Well, everything's wrong in Magic's life now, dude. Now she's trying to kill her own brother as this weird, tragic, dark child takes her over. So it kind of sucks. She's got to get out. She's got to go. But we're going to work on that in the next one. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. This was fun. It's fun. How many more pages did I get done from last time? I don't know. I think I started on page 7. Yeah, I started on page 7 and I got to 11 in like 35 minutes, even though I spent like fucking over 5 minutes talking to you guys about what happened before. So let's call it 30 minutes. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. That's pretty good. That's pretty fast, but that's superhero comics, man. You can do less panels, less, and I haven't even done the dialogue yet, so that is more work. So technically it's going to take more time to get all the cool lines in. There might not even be lines for some of these. A lot of these are just good visuals, but I like I'm liking getting the story out with taking my time with the visuals and just making sure they all blow our minds. So I think this is a good place to stop. I will see you guys for the next one. I hope you learned something. If you have any comments, please let me know. And I appreciate you. Hit like and subscribe, all that good shit. Check out my website store, riseagaincomics.com. We've got some of the best comics and indie comics there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Von's Haunted Castle.